Hey guys, Juti here with another Future of Tekken video. So this time we're going to continue with the Future of Tekken 8. After my general video, now we're going to talk specifics about what characters I want to see come back. So I've already filled out a couple of characters here. Down here you have characters which shouldn't come back either because they're clones or because of licensing issues or because they're boss characters, so that doesn't really count. And then we also have other characters such as the ones which have plot armor, so for the story. So if you don't like Lars or Eliza, start labbing them because they're definitely going to be back. And of course, then we have legacy armor characters, the ones which we always expect to come. And of course, I want to see Mokujin at launch. So now let's fill in some other characters, shall we? So, returning characters, I want to see Jun Kazama for sure in Tekken 8 at launch. Where is Jun? Jun is here. Of course, make her look appropriate to her age, so a bit more MILF-like. She doesn't have to be as old as Kazuya, but make her look like, you know, late 30s at least. And I also want to see Ogre return, just regular Ogre, Ancient Ogre. That would give like some dynamics to the story plot of what exactly happened with Jun there, and I think Ancient Ogre is interesting enough to come back. I don't want to see True Ogre though, because I see him more as a boss character, so I'm putting him away. I want to see Bruce return. The thing with Bruce is that I've really underappreciated this character, and now that I don't get to play him, I realize with Josie and Fakum Ram that I don't want these characters, but I definitely want Bruce back. So Josie, sorry, don't want you. Fakum Ram, definitely don't want you in the next entry. Yeah, Bruce should come back. Bruce should definitely come back. Next up, let's see. Kazumi shouldn't come back. Wait, let me explain. Kazumi's already dead, so what I want to see is a character like Kazumi, because I like the idea of Kazumi and interest easy to pick up Mishima kind of character. However, it should be like a kind of younger Hachicho girl from the Hachicho clan, and she's also prim and proper, but she's not familiar with modern things, so she easily gets distracted with Azuka and Xiaoyu, and maybe she can have a dynamic with Xiaoyu where since Jin's name is mentioned, Xiaoyu goes crazy or something. And yeah, let's just say that she gets distracted with all these modern things, ice cream and phones and social media, that she forgets about her mission now and then. Characters I want to see as well, or let me say character I don't want to see, is Lucky Chloe. I don't think she's played that much, and yeah, we have enough of these characters that carry people, so I don't really want to see her. I'm also going to say something controversial right now. I think martial law should sit this one out, and forest law, so his son, should come back into the fray like in Tekken 3, because that whole storyline with him and Paul, it's gone into, you know, gag real, and I would like, you know, it to be freshened up a bit so they can change the dynamic if Forrest comes back. Characters I want to see return as well is Leroy. Yes, I know, controversial. However, with some radical changes to make him a bit harder to play, just a bit harder, and make the parry not as brain dead, because I actually like the visual style of the character and I feel he deserves a second shot for sure. Speaking of which, I also think that Kuni Mitsu should come back. She's quite loved by a lot of people. However, I'm not a fan of the projectile, so the same goes for the Kazumi Hachicho girl. Let's use the base of Tekken Tag Tournament 2 instead of the base for Tekken 7 for Kuni Mitsu, to make the Kuni Mitsu for Tekken 8. Yeah, now I would like to see Maven return, but not many people play her, so I'm willing to pay for her. However, I don't want to see Raven himself come back, because I find his design is a bit too Wesley Snipes orientated, kind of blade-like stuff. It doesn't really speak that much to me, so I'd rather have Master Raven come back. Asuka should come back, because people expect her to come back, even though we already have a character like June already. If not, then she should be a DLC, but people expect her to be in the base roster. So same goes for Lily. If you don't like Lily, start labbing her, because she's definitely going to be in the next entry. And now let's get a couple of controversial stuff. Eddie shouldn't be in the base roster. Instead of that, we put Christy up. So Christy should come back at launch, but she should have like a completely refreshed moveset, so she feels like a different character, so she's not a clone anymore, so she's her own character. And what will happen with Eddie is that Eddie should become a DLC character. I know some people are not going to like this, but I find it interesting in itself. So let's continue. Of course, you should expect Dragunov to be at launch. Feng as well, because he has Harada armor. Harada likes this character. I like him from a design standpoint as well. Steve, even though he's mostly played at higher level, should also definitely make a return. Yes, at beginner and intermediate level, people don't really play him that much. I'm also going to say something controversial again. Michelle should come back as DLC. So Julia shouldn't come back. So Michelle, make an older lady, I don't know, 40, 45-ish. I don't know what to do with Angel. I would like to see Angel back, but the truth is we have too many Mishimas. It's also the reason I've only put up 2 Mishimas here, because I don't think more Mishimas should necessarily be at launch. And that also brings me to the point that Devil Jin should be a DLC character. He shouldn't be available at launch. He actually may be dead, but he can come back, just like how Kazumi is also playable in Tekken 7. I just don't like the design of Gigas. I find him too generic. I also think a lot of people play him in such a way, the way they do, because people just don't know the matchup. I would like to see Armor King come back at launch, but King is already there, so he can come back as DLC. I'm definitely willing to pay for him. Bob should also come back as DLC, because I don't see a lot of people play this character. They only play him when he gets buffed, and people should then vote with their wallets. If he's not really purchased that much in Tekken 8 as DLC, then maybe he should go away entirely. Dr. Bosgonovich, I don't think I want to see this character. Like, it's interesting, it's funny, but from a you know, a competitive level, let me say, like, from a perspective where I don't want to lab the character, I don't really want to see him. Shaheen should come back as DLC. A bit redesigned. Like, I like Shaheen's fighting style and his design. However, I find his personality very bland. I get it, you didn't want to insult the Middle Eastern area of this world, but as a result he's become kind of generic, all very proper and ooh, I fight for honor, and so it's kind of boring. Let's make the character a bit more interesting, shall we? So Safina should definitely come as a DLC character. I know a couple of people don't like this character, but I think from her fighting style she's quite interesting, and once you learn the matchup, there are a lot of things these people can't get away with anymore. And yeah, since I mentioned Michelle, I have no idea what to do with JC, because she is a bit different from Julia and Michelle. Which also brings us then to Anna. I have no idea what to do with Anna, because I find her much more appealing than Nina, personality wise, also, yeah, definitely visually. But not a lot of people play her, and the emphasis on Tekken 7's 50-50s were a bit too much, and she's like the pinnacle of 50-50 gambling. Yeah, next up, Katarina. I want Katarina to get another go as DLC, so bring her back, but redesign her, because she symbolizes everything that was wrong with Tekken 7 for me. Like, they didn't have a budget, so she doesn't look as good as characters which came later down the line. So launch arcade Tekken 7 versus like console edition Tekken 7. So I think she should have more fluid animations and just like generally change things up a bit, because beginner people really like her. It's just that she's been nerfed ever since the end of season 1, so, or better said, the beginning of season 2, so people don't play her as much. So where's Claudio? Claudio's here. I think Claudio should be at launch, because I find him an interesting character. At first I didn't like him, but he's grown over time on me, and he's the way 2D should actually function in Tekken, if you ask me, with the starburst mechanic, so I don't always have to look down to see, ooh, is the meter full or not, and he still plays mostly like a traditional Tekken 7 character, just with his own unique stuff that make him, yeah, as I said, unique. So same should also then go for Eliza. Eliza should come back as DLC. However, radically redesigned so that she plays more like a traditional Tekken character than a 2D character. Miguel, I have no idea what to do with this character, because some people definitely like him, but I don't know if he shouldn't come back or if he should come back as DLC. I really don't know. Same goes for Marduk, because he's kinda cool, but at the same time he's too unga bunga for me. So just a bit too much crazy damage. Yeah, then we have Gunryu. He may be a legacy character, but not enough people play him, so I don't think he should come back. If Leroy is designed well when he comes back to Tekken 8, there's no need for Wang. Jinpachi could come back as DLC, but I'm not sure, so I'll just put him in no idea. Bake could make a return as DLC, I wouldn't mind that, honestly. I don't like Hwoarang, and I don't really like fighting Bake either, but I find Bake interesting as a character. Roger should make a return, so Roger Jr., but without his mom, so he's like a full-grown kangaroo now. I think that would be cool, so because he's in the game, there's no need for Alex to be in the game, so Alex can stay in the Tekken Vault somewhere. Lei, I am once again not sure what to do with this character, because he should be in the base roster, but people don't really play him. People do play him a bit in Tekken 7 as DLC, but it's a bit more of a question mark to me. Yeah, Yoshimitsu should actually be here under Legacy Armor, so I'll put him up there. And once again, Leo, I have no idea. I find Leo cool enough. He or she, whichever way you want to swing. However, I would like to see much more fluid animations if Leo did make a comeback, but at the same time I wouldn't be hurt if Leo didn't make a comeback, because you don't really see Leo. So I'll put Leo in the no idea range. So let me quickly see if I have the base number for launch I wanted. I wanted like 30 characters. Let's see, so it's 22. So strictly speaking that is 30, however Kuma and Panda are one character, and Mokujin isn't really a character in itself. So let's see who we could push around. Yeah, then let me just say Armor King should come back. If he's not in the arcade launch, I won't be hurt, but if he can, he should be in the console launch. He is definitely cool. Then from these characters, let's see, who can we shift up? Let's be a bit controversial a bit and push up Bake, just because nobody's expecting Bake to be in the game. So what I just realized is that Lydia isn't really in this tier list maker for some reason. However, I would like to see her at launch or as DLC, because I think she's an interesting character. She's well designed to me because she has clear-cut weaknesses, something which is not really the case with most of the cast. Like, they've had their weaknesses more or less patched out over the season, so characters play very similarly. Yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. You know the drill. If you like the video, leave a like. Of course, in the comment section, I'd really like to know what you guys think about, especially the shouldn't come back and no idea section. And of course, what you think about Michelle coming back instead of Julia. And of course, Christy coming back and Eddie coming back as DLC. Yeah, and just generally what characters you would like to see. Personally, I don't think Tekken 8 needs a new character. If anything, just one new character. But that's about it. So on the Juti Gaming channel, there's more stuff for you to check out, so if you want to, please consider subscribing, because that really helps me the most. This is your boy Juti, and I'll see you on the next one.